We shall be learning how to make this beautiful bubu dress today. Hey loves, I bring you love, I bring you peace, I bring you joy, I bring you blessings, I bring you happiness wherever you are. Take a chill pill, stick stay, and keep watching till the end of this content. First thing first, let's arrange all our fabric pieces. This fabric piece right here is our back piece. Let's go ahead and put it on fold. This second fabric is our front piece. We also need to fold it on top of the back piece the same way. This is how to go about cutting out your fabric piece. To be able to determine the length of the fabric piece to cut out, you need to use the length of the dress, plus any other allowances you need for the folding and for the joining. Also, if you want to know the weight of the fabric piece to cut out, this time around we don't use our bust circumference. We use our shoulder length plus the length of the sleeve. For instance, if your shoulder length is 20 inches, you need to divide the 20 inches by 2. That will be giving you 10 inches plus the sleeve length. So if you're an average person and you want to achieve the same sleeve length just as we are seeing in this style, then you should consider a sleeve length around 15 to 18 inches. Other than that, you could just go by any sleeve length you desire. This is the most tricky part you should never forget. That is, you should always cut your fabric on fold. Remember, wherever measurement we're dealing with is in half. We divided our shoulder by 2, which is half of our shoulder, and the sleeve, we have 2 sleeve length, but we are just using 1 sleeve length, which is also in half. Wherever we are dealing with is in half. So what do? When you are cutting your fabric, put it on fold so that when you cut out, everything will balance out. If you don't put your fabric on fold and you cut it out like that, you will end up wanting. And for this particular style, the back and the front is almost 99.9 the same. So wherever width and length we are cutting for the front, it is the same length and width we shall also be cutting for the back. The next thing we ought to do is to determine our shoulder slope. This particular style, we shall be using 5 inches as our shoulder slope. So I'm dividing my shoulder length by 2. That was 8 inches. So let me mark 8 inches as my shoulder length. And from that point, I'll be marking the length of my sleeve. I'll be going for 11 inches as the length of my sleeve. Next, I'll move to the center front to determine the depth of my neckline. For my neckline depth, I'm going to be using 4.5 inches. And for the neckline width, I'll be using 5 inches. This is how wide I want the front neckline to be. For the back neck depth, I'm going to be marking 3 inches. So the only difference between the back and the front is the neck depth. Next is to divide your bicep circumference, or wherever your sleeve will be ending, that circumference. So if your sleeve will be ending at your elbow, then you should take the circumference of your elbow, divide that by 2, we're marking it. So that is our sleeve opening. That is what we shall be marking there. When you finish marking that, always remember to add half an inch for ease. We are done. Let's do our cutout. The point where we mark the opening of our sleeve, I'll just go ahead and notch there a little. For the neckline cutting, I'll first of all cut out the back neckline, then I'll take out the front piece that way, and I also cut out the front neckline, and that is all for the cutting. Let's separate the 2 pieces and open them up that way, and I'll be putting the front piece on top of the back piece, right side facing each other this way. I'll be using a bias tape to pipe all the neckline, both the front and the back piece. When I'm done attaching my bias, I'll just align the shoulder line or the sleeve line and stitch the shoulder line this way and that way. And I'll also come to the part where I made the notch that way, starting from that notch, and I'll stitch down that way Move to the other end also. Starting from that notch, I also stitch down. I'll be showing you two methods to sew in this dress. The one that you think best suits you, then you can select. So this is the first method. When I'm done, I'll take you through the second method too. Now I'm done attaching my bias. Can you see that neatly finished? I've also joined the shoulder and the sleeve line. We also have our sleeve opening. So what I'll be doing is I'll be arranging them this way, making sure that the sleeve opening align to meet each other that way. And I'm going to be making a fold. So I'm just trying to get a sleeve opening which is similar to the picture we are depicting this style from. So I'll fold it that way, come in by 0.7 inch and make a curve, and I'll be cutting that curve out. Now when I'm done and I open it up, it will look like a circular sleeve opening. Okay, the sleeve opening will no longer be straight, it will look a bit circular. I hope that is okay. So that is just optional, you could just leave it the way it is. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and attach my bias round all the sleeve. Then I'll come to the hem of the dress and just fold my hemming allowance out, and that is all. Now we are going to be looking at the second method of sewing this particular bubu dress. I shall be using bias to also pipe the neckline for both the front and the back, just as we did for the first method. At the sleeve opening, I shall be piping it to the level where I made the notches individually. After I was done with the piping with the bias, this was the outcome. So I shall be arranging them right side facing each other. I shall take it to my sewing machine and stitch this way. Then from this side, I'll stitch downwards. I'll move to the other side, stitch this way, and also stitch that other way. The last thing is to fold my hem, and that is it. Thank you.